So, you think buying a house is your ticket to building wealth? For most people, it's actually a financial trap. While you're popping champagne and celebrating your new keys, your bank account is secretly being bled dry. Get this. The hidden costs of just owning a home have soared to over $21,000 a year for the average American family. And that's on top of your mortgage. We're talking about an extra $1,700 a month that just vanishes. It's a staggering figure your lender and agent probably didn't highlight with a big yellow marker, and it's the number one reason nearly half of all homeowners wind up with a serious case of buyer's remorse. In this video, I'm going to expose the 5 biggest wallet-killing expenses that are quietly draining your finances. But more importantly, I'll reveal the house-hacking secrets that smart investors use to get their property to pay them. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to turn what is most people's biggest liability into your single greatest wealth-building machine. The American dream has a dark side, and it's hiding in the fine print. We're all taught that as long as you can swing the monthly mortgage payment, you're golden. But that's a dangerously simple way to look at it. The mortgage is just the cover charge to get into the club. The real costs, the ones that keep you up at night, are the ones that never, ever stop. A 2025 study from Bankrate laid it all out. The average hidden cost of owning a home is now a shocking $21,400 per year. In states like California and Hawaii, that number can balloon to over $30,000. This constant financial drain is the main reason 42% of homeowners admit the nonstop costs were way more than they ever bargained for. So where is all this money going? Let's break down the 5 silent killers of your wallet. We'll keep a running tab as we go, so you can see just how fast this adds up on a pretty typical home. So let's start our tab. We're already at an easy $8,000 per year. The old rule of thumb is to budget 1 to 4% of your home's value for annual maintenance. So on a $500,000 house, that's anywhere from $5,000 to an astonishing $20,000 every single year. A recent Bankrate study found that average home maintenance alone now costs over $8,800 a year. And that's not for fancy upgrades. That's just to keep the place from falling apart. Think HVAC servicing, lawn care, gutter cleaning, pest control, all the stuff you never thought about as a renter. But the real horror is the surprise fix. It's every newcomer's nightmare to experience a catastrophic system failure the moment they settle in. A new roof isn't a couple hundred, it's now $15,000, $20,000 or more. A new central air unit? That'll run you at least $10,000. And a ruptured water heater can leave thousands of dollars worth of water damage on top of replacement costs. These are not unusual occurrences. Rather, they are the result of a building being repeatedly damaged by the elements. Additionally, labor and material prices have risen by more than 25% since 2020 due to the uncontrollably high rate of inflation. A roof repair that might have cost $12,000 a few years ago is now costing $15,000 or more, and the costs are only going up. We take our $8,800 in maintenance and add the average U.S. property tax bill of $4,316. Our running total is now $13,116 per year. This payment is called property tax, and it is a financial steamroller. Nationwide, approximately 1.1% of the value of your home is the average property tax rate. Adding around $5,500 annually, or more than $450 per month, to your bill for that same $500,000 home is what you're looking at. Furthermore, this amount is variable, unlike your mortgage payment. Property taxes pretty much only go one direction, up. As your home's value goes up, the tax assessor happily adjusts your yearly bill to match. If your neighborhood gets hot, your taxes go up. If your town needs more money for schools or roads, guess what? Your taxes go up. And the difference between states is enormous. Live in Hawaii with its tiny 0.27% rate, and your tax bill might be a manageable $1,350 per year. But move that same house to New Jersey, with the nation's highest rate at 2.23%, and you'd be paying a crushing $11,150 every single year. That's almost $1,000 a month, just in taxes. Let's add it to the list. If you have a mortgage, homeowner's insurance isn't an option, it's mandatory. Your lender needs to protect their investment, which happens to be your house. While it's a necessity, it's another major and rising cost. The average annual premium in the US is now around $2,400. That's another $200 per month on the pile. But just like taxes, that average can be dangerously misleading. If you live in a state that gets hit by hurricanes, wildfires, floods, or tornadoes, your premium can be exponentially higher. In places like Oklahoma or Texas, homeowners can pay way more, with rates in some areas easily topping $5,000 a year. Even worse, these rates are constantly changing. Insurance companies are freaking out about climate change, so they're jacking up premiums in areas they now consider high risk. Your insurer might just decide your neighborhood is a future wildfire zone and double your premium overnight. You have no control over it. Okay, let's update the tab. $13,116 plus an average of $2,400 for insurance. And we're $15,524. The total is now a whopping $19,124. You will likely be responsible for paying homeowners association dues if your new residence is in a condo, a planned community, or a contemporary subdivision. Typically, an HOA maintains all of the common areas. This can include parks, pools, community landscaping, but what this means is you get to pay a monthly fee to have access to them. On average, HOA dues for a single-family home could be $300 per month or $3,600 per year. However, that figure could go crazy. These fees may be $500, $800, or even more than $1,000 per month in upscale neighborhoods or communities with lots of amenities. The average monthly fee in New York is almost $990. Think of it as a mandatory subscription you can never ever cancel. You pay it every month whether you use the community pool or not. When you move from a cozy apartment to a bigger house, your utility bills don't just rise, they explode. You're heating and cooling way more space. You're watering a lawn. Your electricity bill just climbs and climbs. According to Bankrate's analysis, the average homeowner now spends about $4,500 on utilities and energy, plus another $1,515 for internet and cable. That's another $6,000 a year, or about $500 a month. These aren't luxuries. They're the basic operating costs of keeping the lights on. You might have paid for water as a renter, but now you're also paying for sewer fees, which can be shockingly pricey too. So let's do the final math. For a homeowner with an HOA, we take our $19,124 and add $6,000 for utilities, cable, and internet, bringing our grand total to $25,124. That's the financial treadmill that traps millions of people in a house-poor life, where every spare dollar gets eaten by the very thing that was supposed to build their wealth. So, is the dream dead? Is buying a house just a guaranteed way to destroy your finances? If you follow the traditional path, the answer is dangerously close to yes. But there's another way. So how are some people actually getting rich in real estate? It's because they aren't just homeowners. They're house hackers. Now, this isn't some complicated scheme for the super rich. The concept is refreshingly simple. House hacking means turning your home into an income source. It's about making your biggest liability your greatest asset. A house hacker doesn't just live in their house. They get their housing costs paid for by other people, while they build equity and wealth for free. This is how you get off the financial treadmill and onto the wealth-building escalator. It's done through a few key secrets. This is the most potent and original form of house hacking. You purchase a small multi-unit building, such as a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, rather than a single-family home. You rent out the other units and live in one. The magic occurs here. Let's do some math. Consider the purchase of a $500,000 duplex, approximately $3,500 a month for your mortgage, taxes, and insurance. The other unit, however, could be made available to rent for $2,000 per month. All of a sudden, your personal housing cost isn't $3,500, it's $1,500. You've just cut your biggest monthly bill by more than half. Now let's kick it up a notch. You buy a fourplex for $800,000. Your total payment is, say, $5,500 a month. You live in one unit, and you rent the other three out for $1,900 each. Your total rental income is $5,700 a month. This is the holy grail. Not only are your tenants paying your entire housing cost, but you are also making an extra $200 in cash flow every month. You are literally being paid to live in your own home. The key is the mindset shift. Stop seeing your home as a cost center and start seeing it as a bundle of assets. The secret is to stop seeing your home as just one thing and start seeing it as a collection of rentable spaces. The easiest method? Rent out your spare bedrooms. If you buy a 3-bedroom house for yourself, you have 2 potential income streams right there. In a lot of cities, renting a room can easily bring in $700, $800 or more a month. 2 rooms could mean $1,600 a month, which could cover a huge chunk of your mortgage. A more advanced move is creating an accessory dwelling unit, or ADU. This could be a basement apartment, a garage conversion, or a small cottage in the backyard. It takes some investment up front, but it creates a totally separate rental unit that can command much higher rent while giving you privacy. An ADU can easily generate $1,500 or more a month. This last secret is the one that blows the whole game wide open. It's what makes house hacking possible for almost anyone. A typical home loan usually has to put down 20 to 25%. On this $500,000 duplex, that's a down payment of $100,000 to $125,000. Most people can't afford that. But as a house hacker, the bank doesn't see you as an investor. They see you as an owner-occupant. And that unlocks a financial cheat code: low down payment loans. The most famous one is the FHA loan. With an FHA loan, you can buy a property with up to 4 units for as little as 3.5% down. Let's go back to our examples. That $500,000 duplex? Your down payment is just $17,500. The $800,000 fourplex? Your down payment is only $28,000. I think we can agree, these are life-changing numbers. Thanks for watching. Don't just own your home, make it pay. We saw how people can fall into this trap and end up filled with regret. But the problem isn't the house. The problem is the strategy. The traditional path of homeownership makes you a consumer. You work for your house. The house hacker flips that script completely. They make the house work for them. By house hacking, you turn your property from your biggest liability into your greatest asset. You're not just a homeowner anymore. You're a savvy investor. Instead of being bled dry by your home, you're using it as an engine to build equity, generate passive income, and build real wealth. The difference between getting trapped by your property and getting rich from it is about having a smarter strategy.